Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our regular board meeting of Dundee Township for August 2025. I call this meeting in order at 7:07 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Here.
Trustee Drake?
Here.
Trustee Fixer?
Here.
Trustee Harney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, here. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. I ask the Madam Clerk, please lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
The next item on the agenda is presentations this evening. We have a presentation from Clarity Technology Group, Inc. on the backup email and voicemail storage system. Mr. Riz, thank you for being with us this evening. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. I'm Dan Riz from Clarity Technology Group. I have been working for the township since before I was with Clarity Technology Group. Before that, we were MJS Enterprises. And
Can you speak a little louder?
yes, we have some additional cybersecurity services that we are proposing to offer the township. One of those in particular is Microsoft 365 backup services. We did not have that in the past. The backup services that they have been subscribing to have been just to back up what's on the on-prem file server here in the township and not the SaaS backup. So we are proposing that among a slew of other cybersecurity services to protect the township from any types of threats or anything that could possibly come through it. We use Dropsuite, which is best-in-class cybersecurity backup and archiving. It will archive every single email that comes in and back up everybody's user and shared mailboxes, and also back up all OneDrive and SharePoint data. So we have that. We also propose email and phish testing and SAT training for the township. So that will basically send out, we use a piece of software called Breach Secure Now. So it will basically try to phish the employees of the township and trick them, and if they click on something that they shouldn't, it will send them through a training course. We will provide a password manager called Keeper to the township so that all of the township employees can keep track of all their passwords in a password manager, share passwords with each other if they need to. We have a security software called DNS Filter, which will block any type of malicious websites or illicit websites, or categorically block things based on whatever we consult with the township that they don't want people browsing to on the internet. We will also do scheduled vulnerability testing to make sure that there's no possible security breaches with the township. We can do automated pen testing, and we will also monitor Office 365 so that nobody's accounts are compromised, and if they are, we scan for like impossible travel. That would be something like where someone logs in New York City and then 30 minutes later they log in Las Vegas. That's just impossible to do, so we scan for that, and we can have automated shutdown of the person's account should something like that happen. We also provide 24/7 SOC services. So we have eyes on the system here all the time. We use a company called Highwire for that, and a piece of software called Sentinel-1. And that is a best-in-class EDR, MDR, which is endpoint detection and response. So should something get through, we have a behavioral AI with the EDR that will alert us, and we can isolate the machine so that it doesn't infect the rest of the network. So right now, currently the township has backup services, but just to back up the on-prem stuff. They have EDR, but we don't have 24/7 SOC monitoring it, and the rest of the cybersecurity services we have not subscribed to in the past with the township. So that's what I've got.
Okay, so are there any questions for? What is the value for record retention?
Oh, what do you mean by value?
So why would we want to have record retention?
In case somebody deletes something.
So how far back can you pull it?
Right now, with our Cove backup system, we're keeping for a year, but the email archiving, we will keep longer.
Okay.
So if you want longer retention for data retention, we can do that. We just have to discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah, what we were proposing is a year. The email data retention is forever.
Okay. And what is the cost you have?
The difference in cost between what you were paying in the past was about, I think you have the figure there, but it was, in the past you were paying us $8,500 a year, $8,589, $60 to be exact, and you'll be paying us $11,715
And your pricing is based on?
per user.
Okay. And per user, you mean per email account?
Correct. Per
Okay.
licensed Microsoft 365 license.
Okay.
Yeah, per licensed email, per licensed 365 account.
Okay.
Correct. And we also provide 2 hours of monthly support for the township. They can use however they want, but it's discounted when you're on contract with us. It's at $145 an hour. I believe our regular price is $185 or something like that. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Are there any questions?
How many users do we have right now?
How many users do we have?
According to what we quoted, it's 15.
So that's,
Mental health board, one for the cemetery. Do you have that breakdown there?
I don't have the
Okay,
breakdown.
so there's,
No,
I can tell you, yeah. So we have the entire mental health board, we have the cemetery, we've got Kirby, all of us, and office here, Maria.
Yeah, we basically audit the amount of devices that the township has, the amount of users, and the types of services that we're providing this package. And then we have a calculation that spits out the price for us that basically is adjusting for some margin. And we have some time in there to, give you 2 hours a month, so.
Yeah, I believe we have the assessor and the road district on there too, right?
Road district, no.
No, assessor. Yeah.
The assessors deal with us is separate. We have a separate.
Okay, so he's not a part of the 15?
No, he's
Okay,
not.
brilliant, okay.
His is a little bit different.
Okay.
And we do a lot of work for the assessor. We have our website, the assessor's website. We also do support and basically almost all of these services we do for the assessor as well. I've already talked to Mike about maybe upgrading his services too.
Okay,
So, yes.
so this would be like, currently we're just gonna round up 8,600. That's per user, that's not
No,
total.
that's
I mean,
No, that's.
okay. I'm like,
85,
was hoping I was
For the
hearing.
year, for the year total.
Gotcha.
yeah, Was what you're paying, and then you'd be paying $11,715 total for all 15 users, yeah.
Okay, I hoped I was hearing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
so my thought process in this was that it would be easier for us to have FOIAs, and you can, and.
Yeah, so we do this for a lot of townships. We have a lot of accounts that are townships, and when a FOIA does come in, we would probably dip into your 2 hours a month. If we go over that, we would bill you accordingly. But basically, if a FOIA comes in, we would have the ability to search, use a Boolean search for the entire email database. Anything that's FOIA'd by the township can then be searched and be gotten pretty quickly. So we just put a ticket in with our support staff, and we can get it for you.
Okay, and then also, it'll help us look back at contracts and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in
Yeah.
an email or however it was, on the system, or in SharePoint, we can find it, yes.
Okay, so are there any more questions from the board? Okay.
No questions, just a comment.
Yeah.
That, in case anybody's concerned about doing some of this, just because of my familiarity with a lot of this too, that as loath as I would be to spend more money, the thing is that in the end, it's an investment in keeping us safe if we consider it, because the online threats and hackers and bots and some of them are using AI even to start getting into stuff. And I'm just saying this for everybody to know that it's getting really
Yeah,
complicated.
the new biggest threat is really identity theft.
That's
really
it.
identity of your organization. So
Mhm.
they're basically trying to impersonate people. And, that can come in all forms. It can come from social engineering too. I mean, you get AIs that are mimicking people's voices and, in phone calls. So, we, at Clarity, we try to stay up on that. We're very passionate about cybersecurity. It's something that we do every day. We also use all of the tools that are on here. We, eat our own dog food, so to speak. So,
Would cybersecurity transfer to like possibly telephone, like for example, our landline at the cemetery gets a lot of spam calls.
really?
Yeah.
A lot of spam calls.
Yeah, and so we have our email backed up to where if it goes to voice message, we can see it on email, so I can see it offsite as well. And a lot of it are, I don't know if there's a way to
You
go to that.
get a voicemail, that's that's spam. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure, I mean, there is, the FCC has a lot of rules that came out that they started to enforce with regards to spam calls, spam texts. But I mean, I think I probably speak for everybody here, and that's worse than ever, so.
Yeah.
I get it to my cell phone too. The township or the cemetery phone, maybe if you give me an example, we could block some numbers. If it's the same number, I don't know, but we can look into it. Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to add that I think Clarity wouldn't be what it is without Dan. I always tell him that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dan is remarkable. Every time we need him, he is always there for us and he fixes our issues, stat. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Yes. The next item on the agenda is reports. Assessor?
Good evening. I didn't expect Dan here today. I saw Dan, I thought he was here to fix something. They're always here for us. I've known Dan for a number of years. And Bill and Cross and some of the other guys. And just speaking for clarity, I've been on the road in other states. After hours, I've got a phone call from Dan or one of the other reporters. Yeah, saying, hey, did you log in here or Florida or something? And no, I didn't, so I'm pulling up for the rest stop and we logging in. And they caught the scam. They catched up. Very good. Thanks. I do appreciate it. Yeah, they have our website and they do our network. On the phone. Yeah. Good. Next assessment. We just finished a little brief period of appeals. Our deadline for the appeals was the 14th, last Thursday. In that time period, I think we resolved like 200, we said 200 corrections down at the county. We call those kind of soft appeals, informal appeals. So that's something that we're happy to go to the county and everybody have a board meeting and so forth. But on the other hand, we do have at this point 140 formal appeals filed at the Canterbury Board of Review. That number should only go up slightly because the appeal deadline is Thursday, last Thursday, so we have U.S. Postal Service. By the time they count them at the county, we should probably get to 8170. So we've been real busy with appeals prior to that. This is an example. It's again with commercial properties. A lot of attorneys involved. That's been attorneys, deadline workers. Those last 2 weeks are just kind of crazy. A typical day is 80 to 120 emails in a day, in and out, phone calls, and you analyze the data coming and going. It's just crazy busy, and that's fine. And now we have a little lull, and that's going to crank up again when we get the bills going again. That can't matter where we get a little busy at times. Also in the past month, we did have a deputy go down to Naperville for training. She took the truck down there. She enjoyed it. It's funny, the first time they took it out of the field, I saw them twice in that day. And once was after hours. They were measuring properties. It's still in a construction city, but after hours, we're only construction work. That's about it. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Assessor. So the next one is Commissioner.
Like I mentioned in my written report, our paving is done for the year, paving program. Working on some curves in Promenade subdivision area. And Saturday's one, I got called out from the sheriff. Had a couple small trees on the road that I was able to pull off with the chain of my truck. So we sat tight until Monday morning, and we had just enough to keep us going through yesterday. So 2 days ago, it wasn't too bad compared to some of the other things that they have. I don't have much other than my written report. I did want to mention that since we've had those clothing donation bins out in the parking lot, we have taken in what we've got enough money to donate just over $1,900 to some Jews. And we just got another check for $812. So after that, it'll be a total of $2,700. So I think that's working out pretty good. I was worried about people leaving stuff outside the box and stuff piling up at the company that takes care of them. They're there for almost every day. I don't know, it's working out good. So, that's all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, next up, Madam Clerk, do you have anything to report?
No report at this time.
Okay, trustees? After. Yeah, trustees? Does anybody have any more to? Okay.
Trustee Harney wanted me to give the mental health board, and I'm gonna have Mark Avalar do it.
Okay.
So.
Thank you, Trustee Craig. Madam Supervisor, members of the board, and members of the public, at our meeting last week of the Mental Health Board, we approved the notice of funding opportunity for the program year for 2026, and it is in the process of being posted, and we'll be collecting applications from the various agencies, and it's open to all agencies dealing with mental health, intellectual, or developmental disabilities, or addiction services. The initial allocation is set at $4,000 to $2,000, but in the event that we are inundated, and I hope we are, we're inundated with requests and applications from the service providers, we have the flexibility to push that number up, provided we have the applications that can justify it. And so I'm looking forward to a great response from the community, to the service providers here in the community. Additionally, we have had an expansion discussion of the police social worker program at the village of Carpentersville. We're looking to allocate up to $120,000, and board members had several questions concerning the police social worker program, not so much just for the initial implementation, but also long-term. So we've postponed that discussion for a final vote at our September 11th meeting. Finally, the board has approved monies, and in the event you have not heard, our administrative coordinator, Mr. Jared Sanchez, is going to be moving on. He is on a month-to-month basis for right now, and I have appointed an ad hoc search committee of 3 mental health board members. It's chaired by member Ray Auger, and members are Joe Connell and Belinda Adame. They will be meeting on Friday of this week at 11 a.m. It's already posted downstairs, and we're going to be having interviews with potential candidates for the interim administrator. And we've got the full search in place. We uploaded the advertisements to Indeed and to ZipRecruiter, and posted it on the bids portion of the township website. We can go and review it. And certainly, the more candidates, the better for us for the long-term administrative coordinator position. So, if the board has any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Avlar. Next up is departments. We'll go with the cemetery first. Eric Salas.
Michael, your cemetery manager, reporting this month's report. We've had 19 burials over at Dundee Township Cemetery, 12 cremations, 7 full-size burials, and 1 in our Columbia garden. 10 grave sales, 9 new cemeteries deeds that got sent out, and total sales and transaction of $27,450. Keynotes is the completion of the surveying and marketing by Hines and Associates for our new section to open up, which we're opening up more than 1,000 plus new graves. So that's completed. Although the next step would be for the cemetery crew to clean up and prep the area. So basically, there's 18-inch rebar in the ground that sticks out about 4 inches. So it either has to be trimmed and mowed before we go in there with the aluminum heads to mark every individual plot. So then customers can buy them and have an individualized number of plot. And then if we go forward, we get deeded. So that's the next step. The phase 1 of the electrical project that has been ongoing as far as trenching to our old dirt building and then our gas pumps. Phase 1 is trenched and the electrical is in. Our old buildings now by next week should have electrical, and then the longer stretch that we have to trench out to go to our gas pumps to make those electric gas pumps should be completed hopefully next month if conditions favor us. The training of the full-time team member has been going great. Actually, I want to introduce and welcome Jose Arroyo to our cemetery staff.
Hello, everybody.
It's been great. He's been with us for 2 weeks, and he's shown how valuable he is to us. Interview week was crazy. I didn't think I would get that swamped. I've never been through something like that before, but I hit the lottery with him, so please don't leave. He is chainsaw certified. We had damage mostly at our east side cemetery, trees down, trees blocking roads. So he was more than up to the task and surprised me, and it was awesome. We got it all cleaned up in about 2 days, and we're back in operational afterward. The Dundee Township, Dundee Landscape Nursery off of 31 donated us a 3-inch, 15-foot shingle oak. And while the time, and I spoke to Jonathan, the owner of the nursery there, that who donated to us, that if we could, if the cemetery or if it we'd allow him, he just wanted to donate it to us. And a good use for it, we're looking to Kirby and Open Space for letting us borrow John while we were short-staffed. And so we're donating it to Open Space so they can allocate it where they best see fit. So that was a great gift for letting us borrow some bodies. And yeah, pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salas. Next up, Mr. Dewitt from Open Space.
You're welcome. Electric gas pumps. So for 18 years, I've been hand cranking those gas pumps. That's beautiful. Not yet. It'll get there. My name's Kirby. I'm the Natural Areas Foreman for the Open Space Program. I'll apologize in advance. The link I'd sent to print out my report for you all did not work, apparently. So you guys are without my report. So I'll walk you through it and show you a couple of key pictures I have on there. But just basically, we're in our last month of summer. And so still involved in the growing season. So for us at Open Space, the one constant is management of the non-native and invasive plants. That's the thing that takes most of our time and is our primary focus. In the report, I have some photos of just some of the typical stuff we're getting this time of year. In the wetland areas, reed canary grass is a big invasive plant. So I do have some nice before and after pictures of the reed canary grass. Nice and green, and then the way I like to see it, nice and brown. And then just some of the other plants we're getting, some of the biennials. So 2 years to complete their life cycle, you guys all know that. So we're getting some of these sweet clover, that'll be next year's flowering plants. We're a step ahead on plants such as that. And then we're playing catch up on other plants like teasel, which is another plant that's just voracious where it does occur, and can actually be helped out in larger clusters by mowing that down, and then coming in and spraying the some regrowth, spraying a smaller surface area, spraying lower the ground. Things are a little bit more effective and just safer for the applicator. When we do clearing in the fall and winter, which is coming up soon enough, we have seed bank that's been polluted with weed seed for years, so this stuff wants to come right back up. So we've been getting into some of these areas at various properties, getting the little shrubs and bushes as they come up before we have to kind of go in and start the process again with cutting and mowing them down. And, try to keep the progress going forward rather than taking a step back and then 2 steps forward. Another invader we've been kind of seeing a little bit of a newer one in areas is Japanese stilt grass. It's an annual grass, so we're kind of on that. Purple loosestrife is another big wetland invader. Pretty purple flowers, but can really crowd out wetland areas. So we see that in really small quantities, so that kind of gets hand pulled as we see it. I know everybody's favorite weeds this time of year is ragweed, so annual ragweed, which is a native plant to this area. There's giant and common ragweed. These are other plants we've been getting with herbicide treatment and some in large clusters mowing, because it's an annual weed, so as it puts all that energy into flowering and seed formation, we can kind of knock it back with mowing. And it is those plants are listed under the Illinois noxious weed law, so we're obligated to treat those, even though they are, like I say, are native plants. And some of the tall ragweeds, can be 10, 15 feet tall, so we'll go in there with mowers and take that stuff down. And then just general trail maintenance. I have some photos of trees from previous storms and this past storm. Just yesterday was 5 trees at Salamander to clean up. And more as we come across them, where people let us know. And then, so that's kind of it for the weeds. We're just kind of trying to keep up on that. There's more to come. Weeds can be sprayed all the way till frost, so this will carry us into fall too. And then I have a little blurb on here on just an article that came out. It's just some kind of a new technological spin on kind of what we already know. But it shows they had through the Morton Arboretum and through Purdue University, they used laser radar and scanned the Chicago wilderness area for non-native brush. And that's kind of this area. This is the Chicago wilderness area with all the yellow blotches. All the yellow blotches kind of shows you where all the brush is. So it's kind of cool that this technology is out there. Like I said, we kind of know where the brush is and stuff. And they do actually have, I broke it down for some of our properties. That's a Dixie. So all the yellow areas is where the brush is. The good thing with Dixie is, all those areas are being, with the help of our steward here, Carol, all those areas are really being managed and being actively worked on. So that's a good thing. They estimate that about 77% of the woods in the Chicago wilderness area all have invasive brush. And this is buckthorn, honeysuckle, autumn olive, some of the ones they were scanning for. So like I said, that's really not news to us in the field, but the technology kind of highlights, for landowners, areas they can prioritize or, work with private landowners to kind of address these non-native plant issues. And then just to end with some good news, we got some grant awards last week that have come in. We're all excited about that. So we have a couple, we have a grant for a little over $1,000 from the Nature Conservancy stewardship grant, and I'll use that to buy burn gear and burn equipment for this fall burn season coming up, and then for subsequent years. And then we have some grants that came in from NICOR and the Nature Conservancy, and some other miscellaneous grants that came in that we'll use for the mini forest project out at Dixie. And then we have some grants still pending, including a ComEd grant that once that does come in, we will hope to use those funds to expand on clearing out of Dixie in that West Prairie. And we started that last March, and we just want to keep pushing back what's kind of left of that prairie. I have a great picture of the area we cleared, if you can see it. In this case, the yellow blotch is a good thing. That's the area we cleared, a little over 2 acres this past March. And I hope to just kind of continue that, and then, the follow-up work, and then get native plants in there, and just expanding that, nice quality prairie. And that's it. The only reminder I'll say is we have, I don't see a lot of you out there, but we actually have work days starting up next month already. So it's getting back into the woods and prairies and cutting and doing all that fun stuff. So I know I'll see everybody out there. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Kirby. Any questions?
Thank you.
I'm ready to burn.
Yeah, I'm ready to burn.
Okay, so I have a lot to report today, so I will try and make this quick. So as far as the association meeting goes, that's going to be held next Monday, and I wanted to let our board and the people know that there has come up a situation where the events are causing a lot of people to walk through all the hallways, and we've seen some garbage and things of that nature. So it was proposed that we put doors downstairs. We locked the stairway door, and the elevator would also be put out of commission. They do have fire exits, but initially Trustee Harney and I were of the belief that we, as in the people's money, shouldn't be, shouldn't be paying for those doors. But then we talked a little bit more about this with more information at hand. We've decided that it could be a liability issue where something happens in the hallways or whatnot. We don't have camera footage everywhere, so we would be liable for it. So Trustee Harney and I have now changed our minds that we will go ahead and pitch in for the extra security measures. I wanted to know if the board has any objections to it. Okay, so I will let Trustee Harney know, and we will go ahead and proceed with that. So next up is we have offered a position, and it has been accepted for a full-time GA. It will be a Human Services Director position, and her name is Gabby Aguilera. Her initials are GA. It's meant to be. So she is actually, we got the blessing from Mary Jo. If you don't know, she's from Hanover Township. She's been doing EAGA for 22 years, and she just recently retired. Today we had an all-day meeting that was conducted by Julie Villarreal of Wheeling Township, who has now moved on to Addison Township. She's put in 31 years in EAGA, and she trained Julie Villarreal, trained Gabby for 4 years right under her. So I think we couldn't have had a better candidate for this position. This position, Oh, nice. I'm glad you know them. So that said, the idea here is that the growing season is coming to an end. We have a lot more volunteer days and work days, things of that nature. So we want to free up Maria a little bit, and so she can focus a little bit more on open space. And we want to start taking appointments for the cemetery, assuming that we will get the grant, the reimbursement for the grant, that it's a $500,000 grant. We are still working a little bit on invoices right now. So once that's completed, we will start working on West Cemetery. So if we can take a little bit off the cemetery's plate, that would be great. So I think Gabby would be a fantastic fit for us. Besides that, as we mark our 3-month anniversary, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to our team and community. First, my heartfelt thanks to Kirby and Dan for taking John under their wing and supporting us in every way possible. Their leadership has not only kept open space successful, even during growing season, their busiest time of the year, but it has also helped township operations run smoothly. I want to recognize Eric and Benji for taking on a Herculean task of Braves Project, followed by Lots, and Maria for skillfully managing the cemetery grant reimbursement process, GAEA clients, daily operations, and everything in between. Maria, I know it is beyond your usual purview, but I also noticed your thoughtfulness today. You even packed my lunch during training when I was too busy to eat. Small gestures like that reflect the incredible dedication of our staff. I am truly grateful for each and every member of our team. Without you, our residents would not be served so well. I also want to extend my thanks to Assessor and Commissioner for their ongoing patience and support. Your leadership is evident through the excellence of your teams, and it does not go unnoticed. I want to thank the residents of Dundee Township. Your kindness and encouragement throughout this process means more than words can convey. I can only hope that I can continue to make you proud. One resident in particular deserves special mention today, Mr. Schaefer. At the last meeting, when discussing the cemetery grant reimbursement, you could easily have pointed fingers regarding the SAM.gov certification. Instead, you chose to reach out privately to me and let me know that we could have overpaid. Because of that, we immediately rectified the situation and secured reimbursement of $460 with SAM.gov. SAM.gov isn't something everyone has knowledge of, and Mr. Schaefer happened to have that knowledge, and he shared it the best way possible with me, and by that he also taught me something about how I should behave with others. So I appreciate that. I'm going to do my level best, Mr. Schaefer. So the adjusted fee is now $166 annually for 3 years. It's already been paid for. Thank you, Mr. Schaefer, for your integrity and consideration. I am deeply grateful. Madam Clerk, you never give us problems, and it's always nice to see you. We even chuckle with you sometimes. Thank you for that. Last but not the least, Tom. You are so valuable to our township's operations. Thank you for working closely with us. With another couple months, you won't need much of us, and you will miss our 20 emails and text messages weekly. That is all I have. Thank you very much. So next up, we have public comments. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes.
Linda Carl?
Good evening. My name is Linda Darrow, and I'm with the Midwest Racing Preservation Association, or MRPA as we call it, and we help promote and preserve the history of racing in the Midwest, and specifically at Meadowdale. So I don't know if you know about us, or if you are, of course, you know the raceways there, or if you're all that familiar with it, but we do have our annual car show coming up in 2 weeks. And this is our 17th annual car show, which I never would have thought we'd have gotten to 17 years ago, but it went fast. And I also want to thank Kirby, because he's been with us since even before we existed, getting things rolling along. So I'd like to invite you all to come out and see us at the car show. Couple community additions this year. We have the South Elgin High School Hot Rodders of Tomorrow coming. They were with us 2 years ago. They are a engine breakdown team that's timed, and they compete nationally. They are not ready to compete until after October, but they're going to come and set up a display and bring some of their own cars that they work on and talk to the community about what they do. So we're very excited to have them back. All the community that was there, 2 years ago, were very excited to watch them compete and break everything down. It was pretty awesome. We also have the Wienermobile coming this year, which I personally am very excited about. We've been working on getting them for about 10 years, and finally this year they said yes. And that also puts us in the event on their national calendar, so people will go on and see where they can find that visit with the Wienermobile, and the Dundee and the event in Carpentersville will show up as the location. So we're very, very excited about that. And a couple other things we do, throughout the year is a monthly coffee and cars, which is held in Cary. From about 9 to 12, we eat donuts and drink coffee. We also have a giant Meadowdale slot car track. It's about 20 25 feet by 15 feet, and we invite people to come and play on it. We show old racing movies of the racetrack and have a ton of memorabilia. So if you're ever around on the first Saturday of the month, please come join us. Everybody is welcome. You don't need to bring a car. I drive a Hyundai, so SUV, and I'm in charge. Anybody, we're all welcome. So please come join us for that. One of our biggest events of the year is our annual banquet, which is held every year in February. And at that banquet, we honor somebody very exceptional in motorsports. This also will be our 17th year. We've had everybody from Roger Penske to all of the Youngsers to Janet Guthrie and lots in between. We've inducted 18 people so far. A couple years we've done doubles. In addition to that, at Talking Cars, we have guest speakers in the summer months when we have room. And we've had over 36 pretty famous people in the motorsports community come and spend time with our guests and share their stories. And many of them have raced at Meadowdale, and people really love to hear that. So please come and join us. I left some yearbooks out in the front table, so this is last year's. We just put this year's to press yesterday, and it will come out at the car show. But you can look through and see what we're about, and there's some other information. Please come and see us. Oh, Motor Mondays. We also, Lucy was on our board, runs Motor Mondays, but under the MERPA banner with the East Dundee Village. Thank you. We were rained out last week, but we're doing a rain date on Monday. And that's been going since 2012?
We started in 14.
14.
And I took over at 19.
Lucy took over in 18, and somewhere along the line, the village just realized that it's their event and they should be helping out. And so now they are, and we're very happy about that as well. And that's the third Monday of the month. So we'll have this Monday as a makeup and then one more in September. So, and that's grown from about 50 or 60 cars to almost 200.
There's so many.
And of course, the community around there has really filled in the time that we've been going to. So we're very excited about that. We feel like, you know, we are a 501c3, not-for-profit. We are not funded, so our events kind of pay for themselves. But we're very excited that we can at least give back to the community by supporting events and bringing people to the area. Our car show brings people in from many other states who stay in the hotels and eat at the restaurants. And we have up to 600 cars that appear, and I think over 1,000 spectators that show up. So that's what I have to say. If you
Thank you, Ms. Linda. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, for old business, is there any old business that?
Any other public comment?
Oh, any other public comment, I'm sorry.
Nobody else has signed up. Does anybody else wish to speak?
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
You have more more GA cases coming in now. So Clarity does have a visual GA database program that we wrote specifically for townships. I don't know if you've looked at it.
Is that with Bill Sorrentino?
Yes, that is what
We're already,
you already discussed.
yes, visual, online, and desktop.
Yep, that's
Yes.
right. Before we were Clarity, he and one of our developers.
Well, I'm
did that
glad you
program.
brought that up. I'd
And
like to add,
Gabby
yeah.
is very well versed in that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so the idea here is to get the current cases we have in an Excel right now, because Visual GA does not take the backlog.
Yes.
So we're going to move everything to Excel so we can control F, and we don't make mistakes when somebody comes to our door. In case if a file is misplaced someplace, we do not want to pay them within the period that they're not eligible for, or double pay them and whatnot. So this will eliminate that. So in the first few weeks, that's what she's going to be working on, is the backlog, and then we'll move on to the Visual GA.
Perfect. Just wanted
Thank you, yes. So, does anybody else have any public comment? All right then, we'll close that part of the meeting. So the next one is old business. Is there any old business that any member of the board wishes to bring forward? Okay, I will close that portion of the meeting. New business. The next item on the agenda is approval of settlement agreement in Dundee Township Foundation, Inc. Inc. versus Village of East Dundee et al., case number 2023-CH-000076. Is there a motion to approve the settlement agreement as presented? Which? Okay, trustee Day. All right, fine. Okay, so the motion was made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Fiximer. Counselor, please
So,
provide a report.
Just a brief overview. This is a settlement that arises out of the lawsuit related to the sale by the Village of East Dundee to the Dundee Township Foundation of several units of this building. And there was a lawsuit where the foundation had sued the village, and the village countersued and brought in the association for this building, and the township as parties. The township, for its part, settled with the Village of East Dundee in December, I believe, last December 2024. Township was reimbursed for its legal fees, and as part of that, the association was also paid by the Village of East Dundee unpaid association dues to up its reserves right before the village left the building. So this part of the settlement is what's been hanging around in this case and why I have to show up to court every 90 days for the past 6 months. And what it is the Village of East Dundee has agreed to pay the foundation's, or a portion of the foundation's legal fees as well, which finally settles all the claims in this case. And the case will be able to be dismissed, so I won't have to go to court every 30 to 60 days anymore. But I'm happy to answer any questions about it. But it's fairly straightforward. It preserves the original, the settlement, so really it doesn't affect the township at all, other than that the township is now also being released by the foundation from any claims.
Does anyone have any questions for the counselor? Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fichtner?
Yes.
Trustee Harney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the settlement agreement is approved as presented. So the next item is presentation of draft for fiscal year 2025 financial audit. It's actually 72 pages, right? So we did not print all that out, but it is in everybody's mailboxes, and it is not due for voting or anything for 30 days. Is that correct, Councilor?
Correct. So
Okay.
I believe you have 60 days to file it. But I think the plan is to have Ed Tracy from Selden Fox, who's the auditor, come to the next meeting, present the audit. So you'll have 30 days, however long till the next meeting, to review. So if you have comments, questions, come prepared. I mean, you can, of course, send them to the supervisor or Ed Tracy in the meantime, but he'll be here to present at the next meeting.
Okay.
Or you could ask Tom. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Tom.
Is there any discussion on that? Okay, so we will move to the next item of new business. Consideration of electronic device recycling program. You will recall that Mr. Juan Silva presented on this program at our regular meeting in June. Under the program, Mr. Silva's company, Deluxe Metal Processing, would collect discarded electronic devices at no cost to our residents of the township. Collection would occur by pickup appointment or by drop-off as at planned events. Mr. Silva has submitted a certificate of insurance to the township, and we will work with the township attorney to finalize a formal agreement for the program. So I just wanted to add, the proposal was that he would come here 11 to 3 o'clock, and we would go ahead and announce that on Facebook. And if you are able to let people know, that would be also great, because it does cost a lot of money to discard any plug-in devices. And in addition to that, we also, once the board approves it, it also has to be approved next Monday at the association meeting. So is there a motion to approve the electronic device recycling program subject to final attorney review and approval?
Motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Fiximer and seconded by trustee Day. Is there any discussion?
So I've had a couple of people ask me about this. I think, I always forget if it's in East Dundee or West Dundee, but there's some electronics recycling place right nearby in Dundee Township. They were wondering, and I couldn't answer this, about like, what does this bring to us compared to what that location offers?
So I'm not sure what that location offers, but I can tell you this program. First of all, Juan Silva is a trustee of Elgin Township. So that said, we do have a very good relationship with them, Elgin Township, that is. In addition to that, he is willing to work with me on special cases. Like, let's say if you have a single person or an elderly person who is not able to, for example, pick up a 65-inch TV, there is something that we can work on with him. The program is entirely free for our residents. So as long as it is approved by the association board and this board, then we're good to go. So I hope that makes sense.
And I'll just comment briefly to trustee is, I mean, the one thing we're concerned about always is liability, right? So it's great if it's free, but so he did produce a certificate of insurance, and the agreement will be like a 1 or 2 pager that requires him to maintain that. But so if there's an incident right in the parking lot here during collection, that he'll be responsible for that. We'll be an additional insured, we the township, and we can, his insurance will cover that. So truly, you know, knock on wood, no cost.
But we do have a program in West Dundee that already does all this, behind the Congregational Church on the hill.
You have to pay though.
Yeah,
But you have to
it's
pay.
like $35, but then, I mean,
But this is totally free.
This is total- So this would be
just seems redundant.
free as opposed to $35, and also, would we say
Ken
like,
has something to say.
Oh,
it would be on
Miss-
Saturdays?
Oh,
What day of the week?
Saturdays, yes. Mr. Schaefer has something to
Oh,
say.
I was just gonna say, I don't pay $35 for video monitors and TVs
Mhm.
at West Dundee.
Yeah.
Otherwise free.
Free, yeah.
But I don't know if this is, you'll have to clarify with them if TVs are free,
Mhm.
because that usually is an issue.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that
Well,
part.
if you want to dispose of a TV,
Everything that plugs in is free, except for the fact that when you have a special situation where somebody isn't able to bring it to us, then we are able to work in special situations. So that's a good part about this.
and will there be a contract or you?
Right, that's correct, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Is the place in West Dundee, is that open on Saturdays?
It's open every day.
It's open every day.
I just used them this week.
Just my concern is like, I love the idea of it being free, but at the same time, I don't want to steal business from somewhere in the township, so it's kind of half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. So I'm kind of conflicted.
Well, I mean, would you like to pay or would you like a free service? How about that? If it were you.
Yes and yes.
Because, I mean, they
Supporting
can,
a local business. but-
it's
yeah.
completely fine for them to counter at a
Mhm.
later point, right? And give us an offer to have a free service just like this.
Hey, Henry. Just so you know, it's only open Monday through Friday.
Oh, it is only open Monday through Fridays.
I just
What hours?
7 to 3.
Okay.
Holidays excluded.
See, that makes a difference to me then, because then Saturdays are more available to a lot of people. So, yeah. I think that makes a huge difference. Thank you for looking that up.
Sure. So, do we have a motion?
You do.
That's-
Any more discussion?
Oh, any more discussion? That's right, Fixmer and Day, sorry, trustees. And so any further discussion? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
No.
Trustee Fixer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. Okay, the motion carries and the electronic device recycling program is approved, subject to final attorney review and approval. The next item is of new business is consideration of amended electronic attendance rules and procedures for board meetings. The amendment clarifies that board members may only attend and participate in board meetings by remote means if they meet the qualifying criteria set forth in the policy. Such board members may access the meeting in the same manner and to the same extent as permitted of any member of the public. However, they will not be permitted to connect electronically or participate in any manner in their official capacity. Is there a motion to approve the amended electronic attendance rules and procedures for board meetings as presented? Does anyone have questions?
We get a motion.
We can do a motion first, and then we can ask questions. So,
motion.
okay, second?
Second.
All right, so the motion is made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Fiximer. Okay, is there any discussion?
Sure. I just want to make sure to clarify because we've had a lot of folks in our township who have been a little less than thrilled that sometimes individuals will use vacation going out of town and say that they're not participating as long as they're not voting, and but they have historically, participated in discussion and whatnot, but they have not voted. This is falling in line with, there are some disagreements about whether whether participation, which is what's in the handbook and the state statutes, says that if you're on vacation, you may not participate. Some people say that participation is being involved in any way, calling in any way. And some people say that participation, they're not participating if they're calling in and discussing but not voting. And also in the OMA, the Open Meetings Act, and I printed it out and left it on my printer, but essentially it basically says that we can, as a board, we can make restriction as needed I don't remember if that was the exact wording, but that we are allowed to basically specify that if you're on vacation, you're not calling in. It's basically the short version. So that was a lot of words to say that you're not calling in if you're out of town for any other reason than what's listed in the statute. So that's what I got.
Okay, so do we want to call Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Was there any other discussion?
Any other discussion, or do you need clarification from council? So this, I know we've read it, but I just want
to do it?
Yes.
Okay. So I think trustee did a very nice job of discussing. So there's 4 reasons under state law that a board, a local government board, may permit one of its members to attend is the word that's used, attend a meeting remotely or by other means is really what it says, other means. And as long as a quorum is physically present, right? So as long as there's 3 folks here, then they may permit and adopt rules that permit other members of the board to attend a meeting by other means, which can be audio, video conference. Those 4 circumstances are kind of, what you would think. So it is personal illness or disability, employment purposes or business of the township, travel for those 2 purposes, a family or other emergency, and then the most recent one that was adopted was unexpected childcare obligations, right? So in those circumstances, a board can pass rules that allow a member to participate when there's 3 folks in person. And this board has adopted those rules, and as the trustee said, there's been clarification about, well, what if they have, someone doesn't vote, right, and they come and they discuss, right? So this board, this policy would make clear, right, that someone would not be able to participate, small p participate, right, not proper, participate in any way. And it says, right, that includes things like engaging in discussion or comment or deliberation, making motions, voting in their official capacity. So if at some point in the future the board decided to make a live stream of its meetings publicly available, that member of the board who wasn't here could certainly log on, give public comment, and watch like a member of the public, but they wouldn't be able to participate in their official capacity. So I hope that was clear. I think maybe less clear than the trustee's explanation, but.
And I just wanted to add, the specific also, because that was the part that said attend, and where I got the word participation was in the book. It said an absence caused by a vacation does not qualify for a request to small p participate electronically, and that's where I was getting at as well. So I just wanted to be clear.
You did your homework there. Highlighted and everything. All right
in
then.
School, I have to do homework.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
No.
Trustee Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Trustee Harney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the amended electronic attendance rules and procedures for board meetings is approved as presented. Consideration of backup email and voicemail storage. Is there a motion to approve the proposed IT and cybersecurity services from Clarity Technology Group, Inc. in the amount of $260.50 per month and $3,126 per year as presented?
I'll move.
Second.
Okay. So the motion was made by Trustee Fiximer and seconded by Trustee Drake. Okay, is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Trustee Harney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the proposed IT and cybersecurity services from Clarity Technology Group, Inc. are approved as presented. Consideration of emergency pet relief program. Can I explain first?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the pet relief program that I want to propose today, it came about because when we have EAGA clients, a lot of times we are not able to help them. I think I can give you an example without mentioning any names. We've had a person with a total fire loss of his business and home, and not a lot of people will help him because of his dogs, and he doesn't want to leave them. The problem here is he's got a total loss, so no food, no harnesses, no medications, no beds at all. I've called Woodman's, Walmart, Target, Petco. Nobody wanted to help. So I went ahead and bought an $80 food bag from my own money, and then we consulted downstairs. They don't usually get food, okay? The pantry downstairs, but they happened to get some treats and some food, so they also helped them, the gentleman out. But the problem is he has a lot of needs for his pets. So, and it's pretty taxing on him right now with what he's going through. So I want to propose a $1,000 per month program for emergency pet relief, and this will meet 150% of poverty guidelines, which is EAGA eligibility guideline as well. So what the idea here is, I've already talked to the pantry downstairs, so we will do the checks and balances. They're not just going to give it to anybody that comes in asking for X, Y, and Z help for pets. We will go through the questionnaires the intake that we go through for EAGA with them, and provided they qualify based on those guidelines, they'll get that. So that is the idea. So is there a motion to approve the emergency pet relief program as presented?
I'll motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so the motion has been made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Fiximer. Is there a discussion?
Kane County does have a program though, correct? For the pets?
Yeah, we've called them. Actually, they themselves called and
Nothing.
they were not able to help.
Not to ask like person, but do you know what size the dogs are? I have so much crap at my house. Dog stuff.
Am I allowed to say? Yeah.
Maybe Maria.
As
can
long
tell
as
me.
you don't, yeah, identify.
Maria, tell me afterwards.
I would-
if have
yeah.
so
No,
much
we
stuff.
we can
Okay.
say, right, what kind of dogs
Are they-
or no?
Yeah, as long as it's not like some rare type of dog that only one person has that
No,
everybody
no, no,
knows.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be
No,
careful.
it's pit bulls.
Oh, because they're not big. They're not little. Okay. 'cause I
Yeah,
love
and
dog
they
stuff. It's
they
okay.
just needed
Yeah, they
help.
need help. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Does the money carry over if like you don't spend $1,000 this month? Does it carry over?
it stays.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But does it accrue?
So,
Do they keep?
No, it would be, well, and correct me if I'm
Okay.
wrong, I don't mean to speak out of turn. So it would be like other GAEA monies, it would be in the form of a voucher, right? So you wouldn't just be able to take the money and go run to
So
the
it's not
gas
like we're
station and
gonna
buy
be
some.
putting
You-
food, dog
Correct,
food
it
down
would
there
be,
constantly.
we would pay PetSmart or whoever for the food directly, yeah. So it wouldn't roll
Okay.
over, it would be up to that amount per month.
Okay.
But just up to, not like, it's not gonna be every single month that there's gonna be $1,000 pet case.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't, yeah, you
Yeah.
can't bank the money, right?
Oh.
You can't say, oh, so by the end of the year, I have, $12,000 in pet fees paid.
but it does include downstairs too, right? Because they help a lot of our people.
Yeah.
So if they are going to come in and tell us like, hey, we've helped, we send a lot of people downstairs,
Oh, yeah.
okay? And then they also get people
Yeah.
that they, vice versa. So if they send somebody up here, right, and they will go through the checks and balances, like they'll let us know and we'll do that, okay? So, and we'll report also about it if, we go through, right now, we've just had this one case, okay?
Would you think like a 500 would be a better number? I mean, 1,000
Well,
is
see,
a lot of money for dog
It is,
food.
true, you're
Just-
right.
But
No,
then
no,
I'm
no.
thinking like like if the pet's injured, they're gonna need to go to the vet or something, so then that's where the $1,000
Let me tell you,
keeps
this is
going.
how I came up with this, okay, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you can
No.
add. So $80 was the bag of food, all
Oh,
right?
yeah.
All right, so,
Easily.
yeah, so you get 2 dogs, all right, and
Yeah.
that food is probably gonna last maybe, I don't know, let's say a month, okay? It's probably 3 weeks, but let's say a month,
Yeah.
okay? He currently needs neutering, okay? Which I don't know
Kinda
if it's
sounds like
going
those
to.
dogs might not need to be in his home.
Well, no, it's one of them. One is
Okay.
going through medical issues, terrible medical issues that, we are not going to most likely cover. But the problem here is, when a dog is not, never mind the neutering
Yeah.
even, okay, right now, but harnesses, pet beds.
No, I know.
Pet beds were $30. They used to be at 5 and below for $15, but that doesn't exist anymore.
No,
So we couldn't get them any help.
not for big dogs.
Yeah,
They
so-
only have small
No.
dogs.
Right.
Good luck finding $30 pet beds. for
So
dog
that's why I
size.
came up with that, only because if sometimes people have 2 dogs and a cat, okay, so we want to be able to be mindful of that, so that's about it,
The money's gonna go fast if we're covering surgeries too.
So that's why so Mr. Kimsey, do we need to write that down exactly, it's only for food?
Yeah, so,
And food, harnesses,
Basic
and,
to
sorry,
supply. Just like basic
basic
supplies.
supplies,
I mean,
we
we're
should
not
write,
trying
spell
to-
it out.
so you,
I like
Say
well,
not for veterinary care.
Okay.
No.
this board does not have to right now, but you absolutely should have a policy where, because you have to administer it that way anyway, so it should be specified on what is included and what is not included.
See, if we were going to do that, right, that surgery, okay, of neutering, because you don't want to multiply this situation, okay? It was going to be through Anderson Humane, which is, from what I researched, it was around $100.
Okay.
So it would only be through that, it would not be Dundee, what is that place here, the 24-hour place, Yeah,
We don't
$700.
need
Right, so can we specify that? If
You
it
can
is
absolutely-
neutering, spaying, it would only be through Anderson Humane?
Right, like an approved vendor, just like for
I don't think we
GRA.
need to be getting involved in neutering and spaying of dogs. That's
Okay.
through the county. That's not a township type.
But they don't cover, so if you have a total loss, there's nothing you can
But
do
they should have
about
taken
it.
care of that beforehand. Their poor planning isn't an emergency on our end. Like, he had the opportunity to fix his dog. That's not our emergency is to feed the dog,
That's what
not fix the dog.
I think that's right, I think probably emergency medical care, if it's an emergent issue,
Okay.
right, I think
All
that's
right.
probably
All
the
right,
the
fine.
idea.
Okay, so we'll do
Yeah,
emergency, we
surgeries
will
and
not do
vaccines.
elective.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
But like,
okay.
I'm wondering like if it had gotten like burnt or whatever, like just the first aid.
But like
care.
not neutering is
No.
just.
Okay, so no
irresponsible.
elective at all though,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I think elective is a good way to
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Good word.
only
Yeah,
emergency
because, right. if there could
medical
be
care.
Medically required.
I mean, if they got burned.
Respect- Yeah, right, I don't,
Yeah,
we don't
you're
have to go
right.
into detail on that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so, okay.
No, it's-
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Carney? Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the emergency pet relief program is approved as presented, and I have it marked as no elective surgeries, only emergencies.
No.
Can I plow through? Okay. Is there any other business that any board members wishes to bring forward? Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Ooh, tie.
Okay, I'll put trustee Drake. Okay, so, sorry. The motion is made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there any discussion?
No discussion.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? Okay, the ayes have, all in support, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Sorry.
The ayes have it and we are adjourned at 8:18 PM.
I said the aye.